last year, the whole United Kingdom has been engaged in a great national effort to fight COVID. And there's no doubt that in fighting the old variant of the virus, our collective efforts were working and would have continued to work. But we now have a new variant of the virus, and it's been both frustrating and alarming to see the speed with which the new variant is spreading. Our scientists have confirmed this new variant is between 50 and 70% more transmissible. That means you're much, much more likely to catch the virus and to pass it on. As I speak to you tonight, our hospitals are under more pressure from COVID than at any time since the start of the pandemic. In England alone, the number of COVID patients in hospitals has increased by nearly a third in the last week to almost 27,000. And that number is 40% higher than the first peak in April. On the 29th of December, more than 80,000 people tested positive for COVID across the UK, a new record. The number of deaths is up by 20% over the last week and will sadly rise further. My thoughts are with all those who've lost loved ones. With most of the country already under extreme measures, it's clear that we need to do more together to bring this new variant under control while our vaccines are rolled out. In England, we must therefore go into a national lockdown which is tough enough to contain this variant. That means the government is once again instructing you to stay at home. You may only leave home for limited reasons permitted in law, such as to shop for essentials, to work if you absolutely cannot work from home, to exercise.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be discussing my reaction to Boris Johnson's speech from last night. And I've reattached the 2-minute clip into my video, and this is going to be the questions I want to ask him. So question number 1 is, how are people with disabilities such as autism and the vulnerable being affected by COVID? Number 2, what support are you offering for people like me who live alone and are on the autistic spectrum? Number 3, why did you avoid this for so long, and do you realise the mental health and physical health implications you're having on keeping people separated? Number 4, why have you not consulted with any people with disabilities or mental health issues or learning disabilities to get our input during this pandemic process? Number 5, why has all this press briefings not been made accessible for people with disabilities, mental health issues, learning disabilities and autism? Number 6, how long do you expect the British people to conform to these lockdown rules? Everybody is just about had enough of being away from their family, friends and loved ones. Number 7, when will you let us know how many people with actual disabilities have been affected by COVID and how many deaths are relating to people with disabilities? I understand why you've had to put the country back into national lockdown. I understand that it's for safety and to make sure we stop the spread of the virus and stop people getting sick and into hospital admissions and onto ventilated beds and stuff. I get it, and I get that the fact that it's too dangerous to go into schools for children because of the touch and being around large groups of people when we're meant to be socially distancing and all that kind of stuff. I get that, but the problem is you acted too slow. You're not even letting people know with autism what's going on. People like us, again, are left out of this process. Again, we're not being taught to. We're not being included in this. And I think it's a really big shame that the government, like you, Boris Johnson, and your little ministers back there at Whitehall, they aren't including us. They aren't asking if we need help, support. They aren't actually asking us in the pandemic process how we need support. And how do you think this is affecting us? The more likely we are to be separated from our friends, family, loved ones, we're having anxiety, we're having mental health issues that are going undiagnosed or unassessed because we're at home alone, not able to access medical treatment because of the COVID restrictions. So you are making people more and more isolated every day, and people like me have to live on her own every day and be isolated from people. Yes, I have my family support network and people I talk to online to help support me, but the problem is when it comes to professional support, there's nothing there because you've taken away my autism support group, you've taken away my professional support because everyone's working from home, and that does increase loneliness, that increases anxiety, that can increase potential mental health issues. So what are you doing to support people like me who live on her own, who are on state benefits, who feel that there is a lack of support for people like me across the UK? And please, I want you to answer these questions for me. What are you going to do? So thank you for listening. Please like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll be back next time. Bye!